Hi everyone, so I am currently in the process of building a shed. So I already made the shed pad, and now I'm making the base for the floor of the shed. And it's important that this base here is a perfect rectangle. I don't want it to be any just kind of lopsided quadrilateral. It needs to be a perfect rectangle, which means it should have all right angles at all four corners. So there are a couple ways that you can check to see if these are actually right angles, if this is a rectangle, and they're all ways that we've talked about in class. So one of those ways is to just check and see if that's a right angle. And one way to do that is to just use Pythagorean theorem. This is actually a common way that carpenters use to check to see if something's a right angle. So what you can do is, as we know, one of the most common right angles or right triangles is the 3, 4, 5. So it's got like a side length of 3, a side length of 4, and a side length of, or the hypotenuse is 5. And so we can actually do that. So you can see I've already marked off 3 inches right there. And then I marked off 4 inches right there. And now I'm going to see if this diagonal here is actually 5 inches, because that would be a 3, 4, 5. And it is. As you can see, it's right at 5 inches. And so that is a 3, 4, 5 right triangle, and so I know that's a good right angle there. You can also do any multiple of 3, 4, 5, so you could do a 6, 8, 10 if you didn't want to do such a small measurement. All right, there's another way you can check to see if something is a rectangle, and that is to use the diagonals. We know that the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. So this is a really common way when you're building something to check. So they'll call it check for square. So to check it to see if you have square corners, basically. It's not actually a square, it's a rectangle. So what I'm gonna do is, and I've already done this a few times and made a few adjustments, but I'm going to start at one corner and go to the opposite corner. It's hard to do with one hand. And see what that length is. And it's currently about 152.5. All right, so now we're gonna check the other corner and see if it is also 152.5. When I did this before, it was not a perfect rectangle. One of them was like 153 and the other was 151, so I had to kind of adjust them. But let's see here. All right, and we've got 152.5 again. So I know that this is a perfect rectangle. And so now I can go ahead and put my plywood in and build on it, because I know that the corners are square.